Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, November 6th. We have all you need to know about the renaming of a local airport and a fundraising effort in Center County.
We also have updates on federal cases making their way to the Supreme Court, along with entertainment, sports, and weather. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Carly Knowlton.
And I'm Jenna Wissman.
The University Park Airport has officially been renamed to State College Regional Airport. This change is meant to help eliminate confusion among travelers as the boarding tickets still used airline code SCE. Officials say they hope this change clears confusion while also making others more aware of State College and its surrounding areas.
The Center County Board of Commissions passed a resolution to enhance public safety training and address a growing need for emergency responders. The resolution is seeking to secure a $1 million statewide local share assessment grant from the Commonwealth Financing Authority. Commissioner Amber Concepcion stressed the need to educate future emergency responders to address the demographic changes in the volunteer firefighting and EMS sectors.
Pennsylvania has updated the criteria for how it defines environmental justice areas. These are communities more vulnerable to climate and health risks. Officials say the update will have a new way to identify communities, will prioritize resources, and improve communication about permits and projects. This new term will now use different indicators like pollution, toxic emissions, traffic volume, as well as age, race, and income, just to name a few. The hope is to shed light on communities needing more assistance for the years to come.
Two recent court decisions denied Pennsylvania's participation in an interstate program to reduce carbon emissions. Both Commonwealth Court rulings found that former Democratic Governor Tom Wolf's attempt to join the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, known as RGGI, was an overstep in executive power. The question is whether this regulation on energy producers constitutes a tax or a licensing fee. Since Wolf joined RGGI through an executive order with input from the legislature, this is seen as unconstitutional. Now, State College has seen some mixed weather conditions over this past week. Mike Watowitz with Campus Weather Service has more details on this upcoming week's temperatures. Take a look.
From the students of the Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Good evening, State College. Mike Watowitz here with your Campus Weather Service forecast. Starting things off with the time-lapse of our conditions over Beaver Stadium today. You can see we started the morning off with a few clouds, but those cleared out for us as we headed into the afternoon. Really set the stage for a beautiful afternoon with our temperatures a bit above average for this time of year. Speaking of our temperatures, looking at highs across the region today, you can see across western and portions of central PA, we saw highs generally a bit above average, anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees above average. As a matter of fact, that put our highs anywhere from the upper 50s to the mid 60s for us, which is quite beautiful for early November. Heading out to the eastern portions of the state, it was still a beautiful afternoon for us, although our temperatures were a little bit more seasonable, with highs generally ranging in the mid 50s to the low 60s. Looking at our weather headlines for today, we're tracking some overnight showers that are going to move through the area. They're going to be very scattered in nature, so nothing too consequential, but if you're hitting the roads tonight, you might run into a few sprinkles. Late week, we are tracking a cold front that's going to bring the next chance for some more widespread rain to the region. And behind our cold front, we're looking at calm and cool conditions as we head into the weekend. So looking at our future weather now, you can see, as I mentioned, a few of those showers moving through for us late tonight. This is around 11:30 for us. You can see across portions of north and central Pennsylvania, just a few of those sprinkles. Going to be very light in nature, so nothing too significant, but you might run into some wet weather, as I mentioned. And as we head into the afternoon on Tuesday, you can see those showers will clear out for us by tomorrow, and we're just going to hold on to some scattered cloud cover here in State College, with some more widespread clouds as you head further north and west, and some more sunshine as you head further south and east. So really another beautiful afternoon for us tomorrow. Now, as we look ahead and take a look at our weather midweek, behind our storm system on Tuesday that's delivering us a few showers, as we look towards Wednesday, we're going to see this ridge of high pressure build back into the eastern U.S. just a little bit. That's going to keep our temperatures mild through midweek. However, on Wednesday, we're going to begin to track our next storm system, which is going to be sliding across the northern tier. And as we head Thursday into Friday, it's going to bring the chance for some more widespread showers activity. And it's also going to bring a cool down as we head into the weekend. But starting things off by looking at tonight, as I mentioned, just a few showers moving through. Our lows are going to be quite mild, though, with winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, only forecasting a low of 49 degrees. Those showers should clear out for us tomorrow and set up for a really nice afternoon with partly sunny skies. However, our storm system that is going to bring the showers overnight tonight will also generate some gusty winds as we head into the day tomorrow, with winds out of the west at 10 to 15 miles per hour, with our gusts to 30. So it might impact your day a little bit as you head out tomorrow afternoon. And taking a look at our 7-day forecast, beyond Tuesday, we're going to keep things dry for us on Wednesday, although we are going to see some increasing clouds as we head to the afternoon as our next storm system moves in. Thursday and Friday, that's when we're going to see the shower activity as our front slides through the region. And behind our front, we're going to see a drop in temperatures as we head into the weekend. However, our weather should dry out quite nicely for us, especially on Saturday for the Michigan game, looking at some beautiful November football conditions for us and keeping things dry through early next week, although a little bit on the cool side. Well, that does it for your Campus Weather Service forecast. My name is Mike Witowitz. Have a great evening.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Morgan Bull with your sports update. Penn State football earned a 51-15 win over Maryland on Saturday, making it their fifth Big Ten win of the season. Quarterback Drew Aller tied his career high with 4 touchdown passes in the game. Dante Cephas scored 2 of Aller's 4 touchdowns, and his other 2 scores went to his tight ends, Theo Johnson and Tyler Warren. The Nittany Lions are getting ready to face Michigan on Saturday for the annual Stripeout game. And Penn State men's soccer defeated Rutgers 3-1 in the Big Ten tournament quarterfinals. Freshman defender Mohamed Sisset recorded his first career goal. Peter Mangione and Van Danielson were responsible for the other 2 goals against the Terrapins. Mangione notched his 10th goal of the season, and Chris Shakes recorded 6 saves throughout the match. Now the Nittany Lions are getting ready to face off against Ohio State on Wednesday as they advance to the semifinals. Sunday night, the Eagles continued being the only NFL team that has lost 1 game as they defeated the Cowboys 28-23. Kenneth Gainwell scored the first touchdown of the game for the Eagles. Soon after, the Cowboys earned 2 touchdowns, putting them in the lead for a while. However, the Eagles came back as Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown got them to 28 points. Now the Cowboys are getting ready to play the Giants on Sunday, and the Eagles will play their next game against the Chiefs on November 20th. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Emma Goldkoff has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out.
Reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Emma Goldkoff with your entertainment update. Another pizza shop has officially replaced the old location of Weirdo's Pizzeria. Giuseppe's Pizzeria by Brothers is returning to the College Avenue location after its original opening there almost 50 years ago. Owner Joseph Pistone and his two brothers created Brothers Pizza in the 1960s and opened a variety of pizza shops in Center County. To differentiate his pizzeria from the others, Pistone decided to call his shop Giuseppe's in order to show his authenticity and highlight his given name. Another College Avenue food shop is reopening. The Waffle Shop is again opening its doors downtown after a fire on October 10th. The fire was reported after a student called 911 when they saw smoke from a dorm building close by. The cause of the fire was a chemical reaction between cleaning rags. The almost month-long closure was to work on smoke mitigation and clean up the building. Owner Juwan Reese said the damage to the shop was minimal. Penn State's Panhellenic Council holds a variety of events each year to raise money for philanthropic events. Greek Sing was just one creative way the council raised money for the Gail Bayer Scholarship Fund. Our Natalie Simone is live in the studio with more details on the event. Natalie?
Thanks, Emma. The annual event gathering all Penn State Greek Life chapters, Greek Sing, happened last Thursday. It was an event full of excitement, and I got to be there to gather all the details. Take a look.
On November 2nd, Greek Sing, hosted by Penn State's Panhellenic Council, filled Schwab's auditorium with music, impressive dance routines, applause, and one lucky winner. 12 teams of randomly paired sororities and fraternities had 1 month to choose music, choreograph, decide on a costume, and practice for the performance in front of 400 audience members.
Greek events are really just, you show up the day of and you enjoy it, things like that, but you don't really think about, where it goes towards or philanthropy and it's kind of enjoyment, but this is more enjoyment, but showing off your hard work and then displaying it for a better purpose, which is fun.
Each team's enthusiasm radiated throughout the auditorium, shown through their upbeat music that matched their chosen theme. Some themes included country music, a Rihanna mashup, 2000s pop, and one team even used their Four Diamonds family's favorite songs. The energy in Schwab was high, with all chapters, volunteers, and supporters coming together to raise money for Four Diamonds families that are affected by childhood cancer.
It's a great incentive, and it's something that's gone in Penn State in general is very highly regarded. So this gives an opportunity that they might not have had otherwise.
Behind me is the stage where 12 teams competed during Greek Sing. These teams of different fraternities and sororities performed with enthusiasm, cute costume, and fun, exciting music. One special winner won the opportunity to perform during Thon at Greek Hour.
The special winners were Alpha Xi Delta and Alpha Sigma. They earned the prize with their Barbie movie-themed performance, pulling choreography from the movie's musical numbers. The two chapters will now begin preparing for their performance in February. From PSN News, I'm Natalie Simone.
Each year, the scholarship is given to a Panhellenic woman who demonstrates commitment and excellence to the Penn State Panhellenic Council.
Thanks, Natalie. One of the most well-known bands of all time just released a new song after over 40 years apart and the passing of two band members. The Beatles' new song, Now and Then, released last week with a music video. The song started out as a demo written by John Lennon in the 70s and was recently finished by surviving members Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. It features the sounds of George Harrison's guitar, taken from a studio recording in 1995, as well as John Lennon's AI-generated voice. McCartney noted just how lucky he was to have his bandmates in his life to still be working on the Beatles' music in 2023. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Ryan Lowy will be speaking to Eric Morris, a tour guide for Penn State. Stay tuned.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This isn't me talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
When he knew that, how do you think? I know. She like continues to hold her values and everything though, and I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart,
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts
creators
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston? Like,
We're doing things that have never been done before, so welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
The natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there, pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State,
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State. Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Ryan Lowy, and with me tonight is Eric Morris, a tour guide here at Penn State. Thank you so much for being here, Eric. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. I'm happy to help out.
So let's dive into the questions. So why did you want to become a tour guide here at Penn State?
Well, I really love coming to school here. Anybody that knows me knows that. And it was just a way that I could help other students out. And honestly, if I could like kind of capture that moment from when I found out I got in my admission, if I could be the catalyst for that moment for somebody else, it'd mean the world to me. So that's why I wanted to do it.
So walk me through the process. So how did you become a tour guide? What did you have to do? Elaborate a little bit.
Yeah,
for
no,
me.
sure. So to become a tour guide and any job on campus, really, you have to apply through Workday. You can just look up like Workday PSU. You can find your position at any campus. I know like I also work at a Commonwealth over the summer sometimes. So it's the same thing. It's the same process. You apply. They interviewed me over the summer over Zoom, which was nice. I got to meet some of those people. And then they brought me in for training when I got to campus.
So what does your schedule look like? 2-3 tours a week, maybe? Because of course you got to go to class and you're a broadcast journalism major. You're very familiar with this place, aren't you?
Yes, I am. So the tour schedule, you have to do 2 per week minimum. You're allowed to do more. So I like to do more. I really like doing it. So if somebody needs to drop a shift, they need my help, I'm happy to pick it up all the time.
So obviously you got to give some interesting Penn State facts. When I toured Penn State, I was not very interested in the facts, but I'll tell you, my parents were. So what do you tell the parents?
Yeah, one thing I tell the parents all the time is that, here on campus, our average class size is actually 25 to 35. We have 46,000 students here. And so that sometimes people think, wow, like big school, you're just another number. That's not necessarily true. For the students, one thing I like to say is the Millennium Science Complex, which is just a building dedicated entirely to research. For those of you that don't know, it has shock absorbers underneath because our football games register as an earthquake. And as an avid Penn State football fan, that's so cool.
You don't hear of many earthquakes in Pennsylvania, do you?
No, not really.
So, and someone comes up to you and says, I want to be a tour guide. How do you apply to be a tour guide? All that. What is a suggestion that you give them when they start the job?
When they start to become a tour guide?
Yeah, so if I was to all of a sudden walk up to you and go, hey, Eric, I want to be a tour guide. And all of a sudden the next day I wake up and I'm a tour guide. What's your suggestion?
Be authentic. People oftentimes can tell when you're lying. So just kind of be you. Like, tell your experiences. That's why they're here. If they wanted to just hear 2 hours full of information, they could just Google anything. So they want to hear about what you do on a day-to-day, a week-to-week basis, and what life is actually like here on campus.
So does being a broadcast journalism major help you at all?
Absolutely. I mean, being in broadcast journalism, I'm no stranger to a camera, and that's always a performance. And in a way, tour guide is being a performance too. Like, you're not lying, you're not acting necessarily, but you're in front of people that you don't know, talking, and you have to, like I said, like kind of keep up energy and be engaging and get them to ask questions and things like that. So yeah.
So when I turn on the TV and I see the national news, will I see you there 10 years in the future as a tour guide or as a broadcast journalist?
Hopefully as a sports analyst of some kind,
Okay.
or a sports guy in Pittsburgh.
What's your preferred sport?
Football for sure.
You want to be football? So you want to be a Pittsburgh Steelers commentator?
Absolutely. That's the dream.
Would you want to come back here and maybe do some Penn State games for maybe CBS, whoever's got the contract then?
Sure. I mean, another thing I would actually love to do is teach as well. I'd love to be a journalism professor. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
So when you're on tours, what is your favorite club that you suggest for everyone to do?
After the Whistle, man. I mean,
After the Whistle. Oh, I love After the Whistle.
That's one that Ryan and I are a part of, and we just cover high school football in the area, and it's such a good time. Come back to a live show every Friday on 11:30 at YouTube. So
yeah, we had a blast when we went to the games. They're just absolutely awesome. And not only that, what do you think of the class load here? Do you tell everyone it's tough? Do you think it's not so hard? What do you think?
At Penn State?
Yeah.
I say for the class load, like it's definitely probably a little bit more than you're expecting. One thing I tell students all the time, or prospective students that is all the time, is you're probably ready to come like you are, but you're definitely not as ready as you think you are. It is an adjustment, it's a whole new way of life. So I tell them to try and like get involved a little bit, but definitely don't sleep on classes, because not that they're like so difficult you can't succeed, but they are a challenge sometimes.
I don't mean to pick your brain here, but my next question is, what is the most interesting, or maybe for lack of a better term, strangest question you've ever had?
Oh man, I mean, a couple weeks ago, or
They
last
probably,
week,
they probably get pretty strange, don't they?
they do at
Yeah.
times. I did have one mom ask me what I was going to dress up as for Halloween,
Oh, good
which I thought was
question.
kind of interesting. I am fairly new to doing tours, so I haven't had a ton of crazy questions yet, but that one was a little out there. It was actually Monday the 30th is when I did the tour, so she asked
Really?
about when I was going to be for Halloween.
So, what'd you say?
Well, I'm not really a big Halloween guy. I'm kind of
Really?
boring. Yeah, so I didn't dress up at all. So I had to give her the boring answer.
Oh, all right. Well, obviously, I know you're a very big football guy. Did you tell all of the people that you tour they have to go to the games? Because I think that's the best part of the experience here.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
when we leave the Shields building, which is right near all the athletic facilities, one thing I like to say is like, this is my favorite part. And
Mhm.
it's not very subtle as to why that is. And I say all the time that if we could walk around the concourse of Beaver Stadium for the next 2 hours and I could just tell you about all my football memories, I would love to do it. So I definitely recommend they check that out.
Back to the questions.
Yeah.
What is the most common question?
I get a lot of questions about roommates, transportation, like can first-year students bring their car, things like that. Because once you get into more of the academic colleges, maybe one person is interested in it, not the whole group, but roommates and cars are things that the entire group is usually interested in.
Well, Eric, it has been fun. It has been real.
Yeah.
It has, in fact, been a genuine pleasure. Thank you so much for coming
anytime,
and joining me tonight here on PSN News. That's right. This is Eric, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful, top-rated tour guide here at Penn State. Now, stay tuned, because coming up next, Carly and Jenna will have the latest news, not the last news, from across the nation.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Aiden Harrell.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from camp.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out.
Reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
The ex-Louisville officer who fatally shot Breonna Taylor back in 2020 testified against former fellow officer Brett Hankinson. The officer, Mile Cosgrove, said it was Hankinson who fired haphazardly 16 times in the apartment after Taylor's boyfriend shot another officer. Cosgrove and another officer were not charged, but Hankinson is on trial for the second time for his actions at the raid. With the trial going on, many around the country are still staying focused on potential charges against ex-officer Hankinson.
The Supreme Court agreed to decide whether a Trump-era ban on bump stocks, the gun attachments that allow semi-automatic weapons to fire rapidly like machine guns, violates federal law. The justices will hear the arguments early next year over a regulation put in place by the Justice Department after the Las Vegas mass shooting in 2017. The justices plan on reviewing the administration's appeal, ruling that invalidated the ban.
A judge had dismissed a pair of lawsuits that challenges New Hampshire's new provisional ballot law. The law took effect in January and created a new type of affidavit ballot for first-time voters who do not have proper identification and proof of residency. Those who fail to provide these documents will have their vote discounted. Several advocacy groups filed lawsuits after the bill was signed, arguing it violates the right to privacy the state added to its constitution back in 2018. Judge Charles Temple agreed with the defendants and allowed the law to stay in effect for upcoming elections.
A county computer breach in early September left poll workers in Mississippi's most populated county frantic as they needed to complete their required worker training. The workers couldn't access their computers for 3 weeks. Hinds County has about 167,000 registered voters and is a key source of Democratic votes. Training is usually completed by early October, but due to the breach, staff members had to work up until the deadline this past Thursday. Mississippi has an important general election Tuesday with key races for governor and secretary of state. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.